Greetings, my name is Robert Locke, and we're kind of going through a series of myths of property management. A myth is something that people commonly believe, but once you kind of ferret it out and tease it out, you find out it might really not be true. So the one we're going to talk a little bit about today is this one. Myth number 15 goes like this. A smart property manager will approve an application to rent from their real estate commissioner, right? Well, that sounds kind of crazy, but about late in 2005, I got a telephone message on my cell phone on a Sunday afternoon, and I listened to the message, and it was from a friend of ours, the real estate commissioner of Georgia, Jeff Ledford. And of course, when you get a message from the real estate commissioner on Sunday afternoon, there's only one right thing to do, right? And so I called him back. He shared with me that he had gotten engaged, they were looking for a house, they were getting married, and they had made an application on one of the houses that we had in our inventory. So my knee-jerk response was to say, well, Dr. Ledford, you're approved. But I couldn't do that, of course. But he basically asked me if I would check on his application on Monday morning and see how it went. So Monday morning at my normal time, 9:30, 10 o'clock, I wander into the office. I find the property manager who's processing applications on that particular property. And here's the story I found. The Friday before, we had a tenant come in, make application. We vetted him over the weekend. They had okay credit, not great credit. But about 9 o'clock on Monday morning, we had sent out an official notice of approval to that applicant. We hadn't gotten it signed and back to us yet, but we had made an offer to that applicant. Now, Jeff Ledford's credit was much, much better, and it'd be a great story in a classroom to be able to say that the Georgia Real Estate Commissioner was renting from Crown. I would love to have been able to say that. But we ultimately had to turn down Jeff Ledford's application, not because he wasn't qualified, of course, but because our policy and procedures manual, our qualifying guidelines had a policy that went like this. Once we've sent an official notice of acceptance to an applicant, unless they completely ignore it, if they accept it, we're locked in, even though a better application might have come in. And so we had to tell Jeff Ledford that somebody else got the house and applied for it on Friday. Kind of we had price tested already. He didn't like that answer, but he understood that we had qualifying guidelines, we had policies in place, and we were going to follow those policies even when it meant turning down the real estate commissioner. Now, qualifying guidelines will keep you out of trouble from making decisions maybe contrary to your policy and get you in trouble on a fair housing claim of some kind, maybe from that initial applicant if we had denied him after already approving him. And I didn't like turning down the commissioner, but I hope he respected us for the fact that we were following procedures. Anyway, I would love to have told the story that the Georgia Real Estate Commissioner rented from us. Didn't work that way. If you have a good set of qualifying guidelines and you follow them to the letter and follow them the same way every time, it'll keep you away from making bad decisions about the approval and denial process. Keep you further away from that possibility of having a fair housing claim. Now, we processed about 15,000 applications during our 35 years, never had one fair housing claim. So the moral of the story is two things. One, look for messages on your phone over the weekend. But number two, turn people down when your policy requires it, no matter who they are. Well, thanks for listening. We have a whole string of these. We appreciate the time you spent with us today. Thank you.